do enjoy fishing in the snow, and that's where I'm going right now. I've loaded the car, cleaned the snow off as well. Next stop, I'll be on the local canal. I couldn't get off the drive, it is quite steep. However, I've been in the garage, got the snow shovel out, cleared a path, and hopefully this time I'll be able to get off on my way, and I'll see you on the other side. I've got to the place where I park anyway. I've managed to get here, driving nice and slowly and carefully. The roads are okay as long as you tackle them at the appropriate speed, which most people are doing. However, there's one or two out there and they're going far too fast. I don't know why people do it, because ultimately it's your car that gets smashed up, or sadly sometimes even worse. Anyway, caution is my middle name, and I've just arrived, as I said, parked up, get the gear on, as in the warm winter clothes, because you have to be sensible, don't you, at this time of the year, and get my tackle over my shoulder and under my arms and make my way to the canal. I know exactly where I intend to fish this morning. You have to think your session through very, very carefully indeed when you've got conditions like this. I've just cast out. I have put some usual brown crumb, red maggots out there, just a small amount to stimulate the fish, attract them into the area. They won't be too far away for them to move in on that, because the fish won't be that active today. But one of the key factors, especially when it's like this, the weather, is to go to where the fish are, as opposed to expecting them to come to you. And I've got deeper water, relatively speaking, because it is the canal after all, but I've got deeper water just off to the side, and that's where I've put the bait. A single red maggot fished over the crumb and the loose offerings that I mentioned just now. And do you know what? Although I wouldn't say that you're ticking any boxes today that put the odds in your favour, nevertheless, I do feel confident, and I think that's important. Not confidence for the sake of it. In other words, you're saying you're confident, but you're not really. But a genuine belief that in spite of the conditions, you can catch. Now, whether I will or not, we'll see, won't we, over the next couple of hours. However, when you go fishing, if you go with the mentality that you will definitely blank, you're wasting your time, you should have stayed at home, the chances are you won't be disappointed, because the C factor, confidence, plays a massive part in angling. And to be successful, to be that one step ahead, confidence is an essential ingredient in the mix. I've just had a little tap on the rod, didn't develop further, but I'll tell you what, that is extremely encouraging indeed. Just the sort of thing you need on a day like this. I've been here about 20 minutes or so, and if I can then move to the next step, which is to connect with the fish, get one on the bank, I'll tell you what, I'll be a happy camper indeed. I'm getting a few tiny taps. They're more like vibrations than bites. And on the one I just had, in fact, I just dropped it somewhere in the snow so I won't see it, but there was a scale about that big, so possibly a small chub or a roach. It was one of the two anyway, big roach or a small chub. But I'm persevering. I'm going to stick with this until I can't fish any longer. Not because of the cold, but because of the light. I know there are fish out there, and I've got them in the area. They are taking those half-hearted plucks at the bait, and I'm over the rod while I talk so that I can strike at the slightest little tap, because nothing's developing. So normally when you fish and you get an inquiry and you wait for it to develop, I'm getting a little pluck and nothing. So I'm striking as soon as I get the vibration on the rod tip. Let's hope that I can get a snowfish today. I'm back home now, and in spite of a number of those little vibration plucks on the end of the rod, unfortunately I didn't bank a fish. And no wonder people think we're mad sitting out there for hour after hour in the freezing conditions. It was minus as well today, but do you know what? I still enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to my next fishing trip.